Question number 1. This question is about the matrix send alerts. Alerts has two types of alerts. It can be stateful alert or stateless alert. It's about the concept. Okay. Let's check through it. We have to choose 3. So the first one, all matrices are instance related. This is wrong for sure, because matrices are database wide. It can be instance level, or it can be on table space level, or about the database itself. So this is wrong. Session number 2. Create stateful alerts are displayed by querying database alert. That's correct, because whenever the stateful alerts got clear automatically, then it will be written to the alert history. Number 3, the space usage management alert is automatically clear after the underline. That's correct. It is automatically, because space usage management alert is a stateful alert. Question option D. They are generated by SMON. SMON is wrong. It is managed by MMON. Number E. Matrix statistic counts for a specific unit. That's correct. That's the definition of the matrix. Number 4. F is wrong too. Because statistic level default is typical. Typical is the option that lets you to correct a lot of generate alerts, correct snapshots, generate snapshots. You don't have to set it to all. All is the one that gives you the most detailed information, and if you set it to basic, that means you disable it. Alright. Question number 2. Let's go up. Okay, while backing up to SBT. SBT means tape. You determine the read phases of compressed RMAN incremental level 0. Backup is a bottleneck. It says the read phase is the bottleneck. So let's look at the options. Which two can improve the performance? A is wrong, because the size of the tape I/O, it won't help on the read. It can help on the write. B, disable force logging. It doesn't help. It nothing to do with the read. It can help on the writing, kind of, because it is, if you disable the force logging, then the I/O will have more bandwidth for the write. C, increase of the size of the database buffer cache. That's wrong, because RMAN is using a different buffer cache. It's totally separate from the database buffer cache. D is correct. Enable the rsync can help on the disk I/O. Can help on the read as well, because the async can give less burdens on the process when you are doing the read. You can read the documents. And E is correct too, because when you increase the level of RMAN multiplexing, that means you have multiple threads to read from the database, so you can generate the backup sets much faster. Question number 3. For which two requirements can you use the user table space cross when the create packable database command? Okay, this question is about the create packable databases. When you use the cross user table spaces, that means you either you want to include only part of the user table spaces, or you want to exclude all of them. So let's look at the options here. A, we have to choose two, okay? A, to specify default table space. That's not about default table spaces, so this is wrong. B, to exclude all table spaces except system, sysop, and temp when plugging a PDB. This is correct. You can use the table space. You can specify, say, user table space equals to none, and you have it. Okay. And C, to include specific user table space only when relocating the PDB. That's wrong. That's not about relocating PDB. D, to specify the list of user table spaces to include when moving a non-CDB to PDB. That's not for moving non-CDB to PDB. Okay, this is about creating pluggable databases using these user table spaces. When you move when you move a non-CDB to PDB, that's a totally different story. Okay. E, to exclude a temp table spaces. No, it's not about temp table spaces. As you said, system, sysopt, and temp cannot be excluded. Okay. To specify the list of table spaces to include when creating PDB from the CDB seed. That is correct. If you have the CDB seed, have specific table spaces there, but you don't want them, or you just want some of them, then you can use this option. So the correct answer is B and F. Question number 4. Which three are true about requirements for various flashback options? Okay, flashback, we need to have the concepts about it. Even though it is the same keyword, it has different things. If flashback job and flashback databases and flashback query and flashback version, those are different mechanisms to achieve that. When we do flashback job and flashback databases, that you have to use the different methods. Okay, let's go through all the choices here. Flashback transaction, flashback transaction query, these are using undo, so this is correct. Choice B, flashback job requires the recycle bin parameter to set to on. This is correct too, because you have to turn on a recycle bin, then your flashback job can put the objects back, move the objects in the recycle bin back to the original place. Flashback version query requires that the recycle bin. This is nothing to do with flashback version and flashback transaction query. They have nothing to do with the recycle bin parameters. They have nothing to do with recycle bin. They just need undo, so they can go back to the older version. So C is wrong. The flashback data archive requires undo to store all versions of all rows of a table being checked. This kind of correct, but it is not correct. Okay, it needs the undo, but it is not all versions of all rows. Not everything is being checked. Flashback job requires undo. Flashback job is not using undo. Okay, so E is wrong. F is correct. Flashback version query requires the undo to retrieve all versions of a row that exists between 2 points of time. It is using the undo flashback version. So for this question, A, B, F. Flashback transactions using undo, flashback job using recycle bin, and flashback version query using undo. Okay. Question number 5. with 3 actions performed by the Oracle pre-installation RPM. Oh, why I don't have the answers here. Anyway, let's go back. Okay, let's see here. Alright, when is the database version release. Okay, so this is about the RPM, pre-installation RPM. The pre-installation RPM, basically it just creates the users and groups that is necessary for the database installation, the grid infrastructure. So you can, that's why I didn't have more details there. Look, I have a screenshot from the Oracle official document here, and it already have everything that you need. Create an Oracle user, create a group, OInstall, and the DBA groups. So basically just pick these 3. They are the one that the pre-installation RPM doing. Oracle user, DBA group, OInstall group. Okay, that's it. BCD, straightforward. Alright, thank you.